What's up, everyone? Sean here, and today on the Hawke Talks, this is a little different, I guess, because this is with the intent and purpose of testing out a brand new mic that I got for myself after some very nice, tax returns and stuff like that. I thought, you know what? I think it's time that I probably should move to a different mic system. With XLRs now instead of USBs. I just want to, experiment with it, see what it's like, and how it sounds with me anyway. Because, these mics vary from people to people, case by case. So there's really no, solid verdict as to what's better over what. And I feel like, the short answer to that whole thing is just, it really depends on your situation. Like, whenever people ask these kind of questions, it really depends on what you're doing. That's pretty much the situation. So if you ever see videos of people making fun of the Blue Yeti and stuff like that, because so many people have the Blue Yeti. It's that USB microphone. I've rocked that for years and years for the YouTube channel for a lot of my videos for the majority. And that thing's been, that thing's been really good for me anyway, as a USB mic for my applications. It's very much plug and play. You just go mess around with just the gain and stuff like that. You can change around the pickup patterns and stuff like that. So it's a very good mic for the situations that it's in or that it's marketed for. Even though people, like I said, people make these videos about, making fun of the Blue Yetis and stuff like that, and not to mention, they bash the hell out of it. So I feel I don't know. I mean, I kind of get where they're coming from, but it's very, very much a exaggeration. Maybe it might be just for the sake of clicks and stuff like that clickbait. But whenever they say, the Yeti USB or the Blue Yeti USB microphone sounds bad, and they actually do comparisons, it's actually really baffling because they're pretty similar. It's just that, again, it's just all about application. So if you want a more analog sound or a analog setup, you definitely want to stick with XLRs. And then you have the USBs, the Blue Yetis, the Snowballs, and whatnot. A lot of Blue microphones are USBs. They have XLR versions of those same microphones, pretty much. So you can go either ways for Blue microphones. If you're a Blue royalist or whatever. So if you want to stick with that brand, then there are XLR mics for you. If you want to hop onto the XLR train, I guess. But don't feel afraid to stick with USB microphones if you're just really doing some simple videos. You're definitely fine with USB microphones. If you just want to if you want to do a big podcast, multiple microphones, multiple setups and stuff like that. Big setups. And if you really want to, if you are also just intermediate or over, if you're intermediate or expert or advanced, definitely XLRs are the better way to go around along that route. But yeah, so but it just all comes down to application, and of course you can make USB microphones sound very professional like the XLRs. It just depends on how good you are. That's the important part of things. It's just like a musical instrument. If you don't have the skills, what's the point of having this $2,000 guitar or whatever, or $2,000 saxophone or $2,000 whatever? You have to be good before you even ask those kinds of questions. You have to have some sort of knowledge of recording before you even dive into how much how much these mics are, or how good these mics are comparing to each other, or is the Blue Yeti better than the AT2020, which is funny because I did get the AT2020 for myself, but this whole video is just an excuse for me to just test this mic out, the AT2020, and for me to continue to experiment with things of how it sounds and stuff like that. What can I do to adjust things? And also, not only I got the AT2020, of course, I have to get myself a mixer in order to even bring this to the computer in the first place. So obviously you can't directly connect a XLR mic to your computer. You need to have some sort of interface or mixer of some kind. Well, mixers come with some sort of interface, USB interface. So you definitely want to watch out for that. So read closely and do your research, and as long as you read carefully, you'll be fine. So I guess this is just me just babbling pretty much for this entire video, but I definitely did want to touch on those topics of like, USB mics versus XLR mics and that thing, because those kind of videos have been popping up on my feed in my recommendations, whatever, because have been doing some research on microphones and stuff like that, because I wanted to kind of just move on to a different mic for me to able to expand on certain aspects and stuff like that, because I definitely wanted to see what it's like to have a mixer. I definitely want to see what it's like to have an XLR mic, so that's why I went out and got myself a mixer and the AT2020. The mixer, I almost forgot to mention, is a Behringer USB interface. They are very popular on Amazon. There are some of my friends that have been telling me like different things about it because they are very popular. They see these the most at their stores for repairs because they I guess they tend to break down the most, I guess. But for what it is right now, it is treating me well. I do like it so far. There's a lot of knobs for me to experiment with, like the EQ knobs, like the lows, mids, and highs, the compressor, the main level, of course, the gains, and a bunch of inputs and outputs and stuff like that. It's really cool. Like it gives me the options to able to do a lot of things in the future if I ever plan to even take that step further. And I can now experiment with different kinds of mics that are only exclusively XLRs. So that's really cool. It's just it really expands on a lot of possibilities when it comes to the XLRs and stuff, or analog in general. It's just vast comparing to USBs. That's one. I guess that is a con for USB mics. It's just pretty limited when it comes to that. Like it's very like plug and play. You sound pretty good, but you really can't do anything else externally. I mean, so there's no knobs other than the gain and the pickup patterns for certain mics. I think even certain USB mics don't even have that capability, so which is really weird to me. But the Yeti, that's why it's very popular amongst YouTubers and streamers and stuff. It's got everything you need to start out whatever it is that you want, to upload content or stream or whatever. That's why it's very popular. That's along with the Snowball. The Snowball is another popular one to pick up. So I actually absolutely do not judge on those on those people who want to get those kinds of mics to start out with. They do what they do, which is to be plug and play. They put out a pretty good sound. They do their job, and I feel like people who bash against that, who say, "Oh, these mics are too expensive for what they are or what they're supposed to do," and yeah, I mean there are alternatives and stuff like that. I mean, just do your research, I guess. So, if you really don't want to get the Blue Yeti, then there are more than just the Blue Yeti to get. You know what I mean? Like, if you're really that much of a anti-Blue Yeti consumer, then by all means get another mic. There's more mics out there. So I don't know. I mean, it's just funny to me that people like dedicate these videos to like bash on the Yeti, even though like it's really not that bad of a mic. It sounds good, and it also comes from the person. It also comes from whatever case they're in. You know what I mean? So it's all very situational. This whole situation, again, I have to say again, it's very situational, case by case, person by person. You really can't really determine what is good over this. You know what I mean? So for me anyway, I feel I am more happy with the XLR mics because I have the knowledge. I have at least the basic knowledge of like audio, and I want to expand upon that. The Yeti doesn't offer me the opportunity to expand on that. I can't experiment as much. I have to do all that in post, and it has that very digital sound to it. So and I've grown over time to feel like I maybe should experiment with XLRs, and that's why I'm here, talking about it with my AT2020. So, but again, I definitely do not want to say that these USB mics are bad by any means. It's just, for me, in my case now, is I want to experiment with XLRs, and I want to rock these XLRs in future content. But the Yeti here is here to stay for other situations. Like if I ever just want to plug in and record a Let's Play session of some sort, or with my friends. It's because it's so plug and play. I don't have to worry about the mixer. It's just less room for me to pack. So this is like, so now the USB mic here, the Blue Yeti, to me is just like on the go sort of mic. So in my application, it's a on the go, like on the road sort of mic to me. So if I ever let's say go to Vegas to meet up some friends from other states, and we want to like just record and just mess around and stuff like that with some sort of gameplay sort of video, or some sort of on the road podcast of some sort. The Yeti is going to be there for me because it's very plug and play. I don't have to worry about any extra cables or mixers or anything like that. Less weight in my luggage. So the Yeti is there for that. So in that sense, to me, the Yeti is definitely not a bad mic, So, or USB mics in general, they're not bad at all. It's just I must emphasize it all depends on your case. So if anyone ever asks me that kind of question, there you go. That's my verdict on it. So again, this is just my excuse of wanting to use the AT2020, and so far I feel like I'm liking it. I'm definitely still experimenting on it, like what kind of sound I can get out of it and stuff, and that's why it's really fun. These XLR mics they're just full of like just a lot more possibilities. So I think it also is able to handle the sound a lot better with like voiceovers and stuff, because I have a actual external compressor on this mixer, so I can like constantly just adjust the knob and stuff like that. Unlike in post, you just have to if your sound is bad, it's more likely that the sound is just going to be bad overall. There's little you can do to fix it. You know what I mean? If your sound is constantly clipping and stuff like that, it's just more likely going to just clip throughout in general. Like no matter how you're gonna throw in the gain limiter, or the digital compressor, or digital EQs and stuff like that. If your sound is bad, it's just gonna be bad overall. Like it's really hard unless you're very good at that post-production audio editing. Then yeah, you probably can pull it off, but for a lot of people it's difficult. So that's why having these kind of settings in an external like matter, like in a mixer / interface, it's I think in my opinion a lot easier to handle with. So yeah, that's just my preference anyway. Maybe that's why I'm like leaning more towards XLRs now in this situation anyway, for voiceovers definitely. But again, when it comes to like on the road sort of thing, or if I just want a quick like recording of just us talking, or let's plays and stuff like that, get some sort of gaming video of some kind, the Yeti is definitely going to be there for me. So yeah, it's not out of commission, like I said. It's just still going to be here, just sitting here, looking pretty now. So That is definitely how I feel about the Yeti now. So I'll probably be using the AT2020 for YouTube stuff, Twitch stuff, and I definitely feel confident that my sound is going to be overall better in those situations. So yeah, you can only do so much with USB mics in certain applications. So that's why I just decided to go this road. So if anyone wants some sort of like direct comparison, I do have something for you guys. So sit back and just listen closely, and we'll come up with some sort of verdict, I guess, together after this little segment. This is the Blue Yeti microphone, reading off the same line for One Piece World Seeker review. And this is with the gain pretty much right in the middle. What's up, everyone? Sean here, and today I want to do a laid-back review for One Piece World Seeker, the latest One Piece title for 2019, which came out around March 15. Now, this is the AT2020 from Audio-Technica, and reading off the same line from the review with One Piece World Seeker. All the settings are pretty neutral. No equalizer, no enhancements, nothing. And the gain and all that stuff is neutral as well. What's up, everyone? Sean here, and today I wanted to do a laid-back review for One Piece World Seeker, the latest One Piece title for 2019, which came out around March 15. So, what do you guys think? It might be a little harder with, like, if you're listening to on a cell phone speaker or something like that, or maybe some certain, like, computer speakers, but I think for the most part, when it comes to voiceovers anyway, the AT2020 handles it a lot better. There was some clipping in the Yeti. Like I said, like all the gain and stuff like that was very neutral. So again, I think the whole XLR and mixer combo is very good for these kind of situations. So that's why the sound is overall is more likely going to be cleaner. So that's why for me it's very exciting, and I feel like I can definitely rock this more in the future and all that. And so there you have it. So in my situation, I'm probably going to lean more towards XLRs just because of these application stuff. And meanwhile, USB microphones, they're great for a start for a lot of people, but in several situations, it's just you'll definitely feel the limitations on those. So and that's why I got the AT2020. So yeah, you can there's just so much more you can do in those situations, and yeah, I feel pretty satisfied for now. Of course, these are all first impressions, so definitely maybe things might change in the future. Maybe I have to get a different mixer. Maybe I have to get a different mic. I don't know. I mean, you never know. This is all part of the experiment for my road with the XLR microphone. So that's just my thing, and that's just my situation right now. And this is the video. So I just really wanted an excuse to just try out the AT2020 for this long now. So yeah, pretty fun stuff. So for everyone else though, what do you guys think? How's that comparison that I just throw out there? What do you think? What do you guys think of that? From that comparison, drop those comments in this comment section below. Love to read them as always. Thank you so much for your continuing support, of course. Can't thank you guys enough for that. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, the bell, and all that fun stuff. And don't forget to check out these sponsorships for Loot Crate and Into the AM. All that information is in the description below. The link, click on the link, please, and rock that promo code for a discount for either Loot Crate or Into the AM. Same steps, but for different websites for your different needs. Just like these microphones, they always are meeting different needs. So anyways, again, thank you guys so much. This has been the Hawke Talks video for the AT2020's test / my feel on USB mics versus the AT2020. and that's all there is to it. So maybe I'll do another video about USB microphones versus quote unquote XLR mics or something. I don't know. We'll see. And till then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.